Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next movie review of the Steven Seagal direct-to-video movies marathon. Next one, I've seen a lot of shitty Steven Seagal movies though, but this one was like the most nothing out of one of the series I've seen. I mean, this what the movie is nothing but a big pile of freaking nothing. I mean, there was nothing to this movie at all. I mean, why? What was the point of this whole movie? I have no idea why. Except, a title, which is actually the title of this movie, is actually a term for used in poker, which doesn't matter. It's a crappy title for a movie anyway. The more Gutshot Straight, Gutshot Straight was called, Gutshot Straight. But it's more thing as a punch to the gut to me, That's a gut shot right there. So yeah, Gutshot Straight. This was almost one of those boring. Well, the thing is, Steven Seagal, he's not even the star of the movie. He's only in it for about 5 minutes, maybe less. It's more the star of this film is George Eads, him right there. Which actually, George Eads, he's mostly known for playing Nick from CSI Las Vegas, which I like, CSI Las Vegas, starting with William Peterson, Paul Guilfoyle, Mary Sternberger, from she starred in Species and among other movies, right? She's also in that as well. And George Eads, he's also among one of the team of William Pierce's CSI team from CSI Las Vegas as the character Nick. I like him in that show though, but here he's just in this role he's just a jackass in this movie, And Vinnie Jones, who works with Vinnie Jones, known for playing the Juggernaut from X-Men 3. He's been in quite a lot of other ones. Well, the last Steven Seagal film he was in Submerged. That was shit. And he's also in it for my 5, maybe last minutes in the movie. Other ones, you have AnnaLynne McCord as this woman. I'm not too familiar with her. Stephen Lang, who was also in Steven Seagal, Fire Down Below. I like Fire Down Below. I keep on saying it's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be, and it's a lot better than pretty much 90% of these Steven Seagal movies I've reviewed. With Stephen Lang, but he's also Stephen Lang. He was the blind man from Don't Breathe, and he played the character Quaritch from the Avatar movies later on. Yeah. So he's a guy who was, which I'll get into though, but Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, and he was also in the 2006 Alexander Aja's remake of The Hills Have Eyes. He was also starring in the TV show Monk, and he just appeared in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom as one of the mercenary guys. Shit, Wheatley, when we got his arm bit off by the Indoraptor because he wanted to get what was collecting dinosaur teeth. And I like Ted Levine as an actor. He's a really good actor. Here he's wasted in this. I mean, his acting is not the problem in the movie, but he's overall wasted in this movie. And Tia Carrere, known for she was in Showdown Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren and Brendan Lee. She was also in The Rising Sun with Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery. She voiced Nani from Lilo and Stitch, and she was also in True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis as the bad guy, the female bad guy. She was a little scuffle with Jamie Lee Curtis in the limousine. Yeah, Tia Carrere. She's only in a cameo, but that's about it. And also Fiona Dorff as well. Fiona Dorff, daughter of actor Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky, who also really stars in with her dad in the sequels, Curse, Cult of Chucky. Yeah, so Fiona Dorff is in this. At least Keanu Waxman is not directing this film. It's Justin Steele, but still. This film was another big pile, another waste of some decent actors in this movie. Waste of everyone. Like, Steven Seagal, he's only in it for about 5, maybe less minutes. By the way, and the title is freaking stupid. and it's just boring. And also it's an action film. There's like no action in this movie at all. No action in it at all. You get a couple of scuffles, and then Steven Seagal shooting a gun, because first of all he has to have a gun, because he doesn't do anything in the movie except at the end where he shoots a gun, because he has to have a gun, right? But that's about it. There's basically no action in this movie at all. So why bother calling it an action film? But anyway, getting to the story. George Eads, he's a poker player, which see, he has a wife and a kid though, but they didn't say ex-wife though. But if he was a wife, George Eads' character is an asshole basically, and he's in debt, right? And Steven Seagal, because this is the beginning with there's a scene like it was what was one of the Steven Seagal movies that had like took it from the beginning. You see the beginning. That happens at the end. They play at the beginning, but it's later on you see it towards the end again. I forget what was one of the Steven Seagal movies that happened like that. I forget. But it's like before the credits, but it's a scene that you see in the third act, but you later see on again, right, to remind you. And also the opening credits, they try to be like a James Bond movie, but that fails. I mean, come on, it's not a James Bond movie. Come on, don't pull that. Yeah, again, it's trying to be a little different title for a Steven Seagal movie, though, but it's not really his movie, though. And so, as when he was talking to Steven Seagal, and Vinnie Jones as well, and so he needs to find a way to get some other money, and Stephen Lang is a guy who comes up to him, says, first of all, he goes to a club, right? George Eads does. This is where Carrere has her cameo, right? And says, "Hey, by offering you a drink, right?" So, gives her a drink, right? And the guy, and George Eads says, "Well, I said I'd give you a drink, but I didn't say I would pay for it." So, Carrere stomps off like an asshole, walks off, and you never see her again. So yeah. So that's voice of a cameo of Carrere. And that's when he talks to Stephen Lang, and they're saying, "Hey, I can give you some money. Do a couple of dares, right? Like, say if you can open this bottle with these ones, right? You can open this bottle with these ones, right?" So he does. He takes a little water ones, rolls up and it takes the cap off with the ones. Or can you break this bottle with your hand, right? Or in the break, here's another assignment for you. You get to come to my house, and he says, "I'll give you 10,000 if you were to have sex with my wife, and then 20,000 if you do that, and I watch you." See the guy that say the guy has a wife though. George Eads' character. I mean, basically he's a cheating bitch basically because he's willing to do it with another guy's wife. That makes him an arrogant prick. But the funny thing is he can do that though, but he doesn't like when people are watching. So he doesn't like if Stephen Lang is gonna be watching, right? So he freaks out. He leaves, but then he forgot his wallet, and he has to go back, and then he's able to do it. He's able to do it with the guy's Stephen Lang's wife, but the guy's watching, right? But he freaks out again, gets into a little fight with. I think it's a subpar fight though, but with Stephen Lang, and then he falls and hits his head on something. And then Stephen Lang dies. So the wife, says, "Here, we'll help. You can help me. This, we can get rid of it, right?" And then Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, like I said, he is the brother of Stephen Lang, and he's kind of acting suspicious and saying what about what's going on here. Something doesn't look right, and the guy George Eads, I think you look kind of familiar, right? So, and whatever it is. He kind of like Ted Levine gets like his suspicions get like proven right, and then we go back with Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal is not image. He comes he's like a little bit at the beginning, and then comes in more in the third act. Like I say, he's in it for like less than 5 minutes. Same with Vinnie Jones. And it's basically it's like the wife wants the George Eads to kill Ted Levine, and then the vice versa. Like Ted Levine tells George Eads to kill the wife, and the guy doesn't know what to do. So, and listen, it says an extra, but it's not really action. You think it's a crime film, but not really a crime drama, no crime action. It's just nothing, you know. It's just a less of a crime film, you know, less of it. And then get more to the third act, where, I mean, the third act is where Steven Seagal gives him Steven Seagal, which, by the way, yeah, granted, is even though despite the less screen time he has, it's not his voice. It's no dubbing for him. No dubbing for Steven Seagal. Okay, and he tries to go for another accent though, but it's not a Russian accent though, like that horrible Russian accent he did in Driven to Kill. No, he tries to go for like this, like kind of like the same accent he did from Out for Justice. You know, the Brooklyn accent, right? If he's trying to do that accent from Out for Justice, I don't mind that, because a lot of people gave him some crap about the accent he did in Out for Justice. I did not mind that type of Brooklyn / Italian accent he did from Out for Justice. You know, if he's trying to do it like that, okay, I did not mind him doing that kind of accent. But not like a Russian accent he did from Driven to Kill, or that Southern Cajun accent he did from Kill Switch. Those accents don't work for him. Now, the way he did from Out for Justice, I did not mind. I can tolerate that. Him saying, like, you know, like, he gives him he wants a gun, and Steven Seagal's like, what do you think I am, a pawn owner, or what was it, was it like, first a pawn shop here, right? You think I'm a pawn owner? Like, with that accent, you know, I do not mind this. Some of, like, the lines he says from that, I can deal with. So he gives him a gun, and then, what is his, I forget what place he's at, though, but then Ted Levine, and the woman, the wife, Stephen Lane's wife, I think it's AnnaLynne McCord. Like, she has the gun, right? And she's gonna shoot our lead, and then the gun backfires and shoots her in the head. Like, it comes out of the back of the gun and then shoots her in the head. And I'm like, is that how guns work? Can a gun really come out the back end of a gun and shoot like that way? Can it really be a bad misfire? Can you just do that? I don't know. But it backfires and comes out the back end of the gun and shoots the woman in the head. And then it's Ted Levine, and then Steven Seagal and Vinnie Jones. They just pop up out of nowhere. Really, they just, both of them, they just pop out of nowhere, and because since Steven Seagal, he hasn't done nothing, so we have to give him something to do, because Steven Seagal's an action star, he has to have a gun, so he comes in and he shoots Ted Levine. So basically, and then George Eads is told, Steven Seagal tells him, hey, you're in the clear, but all you need to do is just leave. Get out, like get out of town. Basically, it's like, you know, like that. It's like the end of Pulp Fiction, right? Like Pulp Fiction, when Big Rames tells Bruce Willis, you know, you leave town, never come back, you stay gone, right? It's kind of like that, right? You leave, but you don't come back. So before that, he gives his wife, I think this is his wife, because he has a kid too. Gives his wife and kid a whole bunch of cash, and then he leaves, and that's it. So yeah, there was a whole bunch of, like I said, what action was there in this movie? Yes, well, he gets in a little scuffle with Georgie gets a little scuffle with Stephen Lang, and he gets beat up by Ted Levine. I forgot to mention, he gets beat up quite a bit by Ted Levine. Then he goes and punches Ted Levine back, though. The girl accidentally shooting herself because it backfires, and then Steven Seagal shoots Ted Levine. What kind of action is that, though? That's not really... Can you really count those as action scenes? No. So basically, other than that, this is no action in the movie. And it's wasting some decent actors. I mean, Stephen Lang, you know, he pays the guy to watch him have sex with his wife, and then a little scuffle with George Eads, and then falls over and hits his head and dies. Ted Levine, I like Ted Levine, you know. I was just, I mean, even his performance was more in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was more than in this, though. I mean, Ted Levine, I mean, I got more to him from as Ken Wheatley, his character from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, than this, though. It shoots Chris Pratt with that was tranquilizer, goes to blow him over, or taking teeth from dinosaurs. You're going to feel that in the morning. Or he tries to take it from the Indoraptor, and the Indoraptor being, a smartass, right? And bites his arm off and chomps at him a little bit. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the more I think about it, I think it's more underrated now because a lot of people don't like that movie, but I beg to differ because it was a different direction that film was because of the director, J.A. Boya. Wanted to make it more of a horror film, right? And the film was more darker than usual than the other entries in the series, right? You can see, it was more darker than it was, and it was more like a horror film, especially when it came to the third act. When the Indoraptor came in, right? I mean, there was some more horror stuff in the beginning of the movie, but I've talked about Fallen Kingdom before though, but hell, I take Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. If people don't like that movie, I take that film over than any of these Steven Seagal movies, easily. But the point of the thing is because Ted Levine was that, and I liked him in that movie. So I mean, he's not the problem in this movie though. He just doesn't give him not much to do. If he beats George Eads up a bit, and then George Eads punches him back, and then Steven Seagal comes in and shoots him. He's got to give Steven Seagal something to do, right? Because he's Steven Seagal. But just no action in this movie at all. I mean, George Eads, I like him in CSI though, but his character is an asshole. He's willing to cheat on his wife and kid by being paid to have sex with another woman, but although he's weird and fickle because he doesn't like being watched. Tina Carrere is in a pointless cameo. She, gets a drink from him. He says, "Oh, I said I'd get you a drink, but I didn't say I would pay for it." She yells at him, storms out, never to be seen again. That's a Vinnie Jones. He's in for the same amount of screen time as Steven Seagal, less than 5 minutes. So, Gutshot Street is a stupid title for a movie anyway. Yeah, it's a poker term, but because our lead guy is a poker player, maybe that's a reason why. So yeah, this is what else is there to talk about? It's nothing much happens. It's basically like I said, it's no action at all. So I don't know what to say about this movie. A whole bunch of, like I said, it's a big pile of freaking nothing. That's what it is. It's boring. Because, like I said, because there's not much happens, it makes it so boring. Yeah, it says 89 minutes without end credits. It was much even less than that, though. But it's still a boring movie where nothing happens. No action at all. And it wastes some decent actors. Stephen Lang, Ted Levine. I'm not big on Vinnie Jones though, because a lot of times I see him in movies he sucks in. Steven Seagal, I could probably say his performance is tolerable because he's not in it that much. Like I said, the accent he does, I don't mind because he's trying to probably be a nod to Alfred Justice. Fiona Dorff, I didn't say much about her because she's in one ear, out the other character. There's no reason to talk about her character. So, yeah. So yeah, this Gutshot Straight. Stupid title, boring movie, no action, basically at all the movie. So there's not much for me to say. So that's my review of Gutshot Straight. Another crappy movie. But Steven Seagal's not really the star of the movie though, but still doesn't matter. If he's in it, oh well. And it still sucks, so yeah, but that's my review. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you next time. Later.